I feel I've worked and done service to my country, and I love my country. I love my country. I like to see it prospering.
Tremendous senator and tremendous human being. You know, he started on the bench not as a coordinator, and most coordinators, of course, start a little further down the line and they work their way up in terms of seniority over time. That was the case with him. He was always a quiet, decent man who had the time for anybody who approached him. A tremendous leader, not the loud, take charge, lead from the front type, but a man who was very considered in his views, willing to listen, moved with a quiet authority, like an elder statesman would.
He committed himself so precisely before he spoke that the energy minister, I have noted, would listen to him very carefully. And when Senator Basharat, as he then was, made a point on the basis of his expertise and professional experience, I think no minister, energy or otherwise, dare oppose him, because he would be coming back as a raging bull, as they say, to make sure they understand the facts so that the policy could be enriched. In other words, he put the politics aside and he put his professionalism in the front. And that was witnessed several times, to the point where he gained tremendous respect from the government and opposition benches.
It's been a life of service and dedication to the professional development of people in the industry, to the development of the energy industry, and also one of considerable love of his country.
For 12 years, Basharat Ali served with distinction as an independent senator in the nation's parliament. He brought to bear his professional acumen and a strong sense of national service. He left an indelible impression on those who served with him. The people of Trinidad and Tobago were his primary concern. One of his Senate colleagues summed up who he was.
Someone who used himself selflessly as a stepping stone for the development of others. And when called to serve and to provide a perspective, particularly on the energy sector, to the parliament and through the parliament to the national community, I think that he did that tremendously well.
Ali's journey to public service started from humble beginnings. One of 14 children, he attended high school at St. Mary's College in Port of Spain. He subsequently attended Manchester College of Science and Technology, University of Manchester, United Kingdom, on a Shell scholarship where he attained upper second class honors in chemical engineering. From there, made his mark during a stellar career in the energy sector.
Basharat Ali was a trained chemical engineer. He worked for quite a long time in the Ministry of Petroleum and Mines, I think it was called then, before entering into the energy sector. I know him working at Shell Trinidad in those days, and in several positions in that company. Later on, he joined the National Energy Corporation and was involved in the development of projects for the NEC in the early 80s.
Having spent much of his professional life in the energy sector, Ali was someone with an excellent understanding of the energy sector, which was the engine of economic growth in Trinidad and Tobago.
Mr. Basharat Ali was an exceptional individual coming from the energy sector. I knew him before he became a senator. In the energy sector, he was a senior public officer, and he was an advisor to ministers and government policy before he came to the Senate.
And in 2003, Ali was called upon to extend his service to the sphere of national politics by serving as an independent senator, a call to service that he wholeheartedly embraced.
So I had a number of appointments as temporary senator in that period of 2003, and then was with a vacancy I was made a full-time independent senator from 1st January 2004, and then of course I was reappointed, and that was the 8th Parliament. The 9th Parliament was the whole of the 9th Parliament, which finished in 2009, and then I was reappointed again for the 2010, the 10th Parliament, which saw the start of the new government again.
In the Parliament, Ali was a prolific contributor whose knowledge in the energy field served the nation well.
I had done 9 budget speeches, contributions, from 2003 down to 2011, 9 of them, and those are all there in the records. So that was an area where I felt I could contribute, because the basis of our budget is revenue, generation of revenue, and the main source of revenue is petroleum, and that is what I was versed in.
Basharat Ali's contribution reaffirmed the importance of having certain specialists or people who are knowledgeable in certain areas of national life. He demonstrated this by his knowledge in the energy sector.
This dedication to country has always been the hallmark of Basharat Ali during his professional life.
One time, we were in a group doing some negotiations with a potential foreign investor. And the negotiations were dragging on for a long time and kept going over the same ground. And one of the issues that was causing a problem was the fact that the foreign investor was insisting that they, the foreign investor, should be in control of everything in this project. And we on our side were saying that no, there's expertise that we already have which should be used. There was no need for the foreign investor to get involved with every single thing. And after time, this went on for a long time, Mr. Ali just got furious, slammed the desk and walked out, said, left the room with this expression: "So what do you think? We're some backward third world country?" And that he left the room.
Ali was also versed in health and safety matters, and this expertise benefited the nation as we sought to adopt legislation in that area.
I brought to bear my knowledge and experience from the petroleum sector, where health and safety are key items. Occupational safety, occupational health are key items. And that is a mantra, you know, it was all in me, so I didn't have to go and do research for that. And I also, in my time in Shell, I had cause, well, I was fortunate not to be there when one of my workmen died in an accident. You know, furnace went up in the air and he died. I was on vacation then, but those things live with you. And so when I got the opportunity to address those matters, I certainly did.
Basharat Ali was an exceptional independent senator. He was truly an exemplar.
What is it like working with him? It is watching someone lift other people up day by day, hour by hour, sometimes minute by minute.
Basharat Ali brought to the Senate and to the independent bench what a senator should be: knowledgeable, modest, and with the utmost of gentlemanly conduct.
I believe that many of the people like Mr. Ali who have made these contributions should not only be honored by award of titles, but there should be a serious attempt made to get the stories, biographies of these persons, get them published, and get them used in our school system. Because that really, in my view, is how you can honor them best. That the younger generation coming up know about them, know of what they did, and the contribution they made to the country. So at least there will be some legacy of memory of what these folks contributed.
The two things that I would really say about his contribution to my mind, if I had to say something to the national community, is that he has done more for you than you will probably ever know. And the second thing I would say is, and perhaps the reason for the first, is because he has in his own inimitable way done a lot of the things he has done through developing other people and lifting them up.
In a long and distinguished career, Ali served on the board of the Trinidad and Tobago Industrial Corporation from 1974 to 1983. He was also a member of the board of the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago from 1975 to 1987. In 2009, he was honored as a pioneering hero for leadership in celebration of 100 years of commercial oil production in Trinidad and Tobago. And in 2011, he was awarded the Chaconia Medal Silver for long and meritorious service as a chemical engineer in the sphere of public service. A husband, a father of two, an energy expert, and an independent senator, Basharat Ali, in all facets of life, is truly a role model to us all. His contributions through the Senate and generally to national life will long be remembered and always respected.
Yeah, I made an important contribution because people would stop me on the road and say, Mr. Ali, Senator Ali, I like what you say. And I said, thank you very much.